last training. And we have here 6 prominent speakers who come up to join me for this discussion. I would like to ask Professor Ahimsa Abutra, please, and Dean Chen Yumi, and Professor Lin Chang-Kwan, Professor Hong Wei-Si, and Professor Ping is here, and Professor Chen Wei. Okay, yes, please, please. Oh, I have no need to present each of them here because everybody knows him already 2 days. I just ask for understanding because I'm too late. Yesterday I have had another meeting in my National Taiwan University. This morning I have to bring my boy to the hospital and down for this duty and then immediately back to Taipei because tomorrow morning I will go abroad. I will take my flight to the Southeast Asia. So anyway, we come back now to the main topics of violence, religion violence, and multiculturalism. Okay, I could not say much because I was not here and would not abuse my power to speak too much. Just 5 minutes. During the last speaker's session on Hamas, on Baha'i, on violence in a Muslim country, it got to my mind that it seemed to me that we have a misunderstanding. These things in between religion and violence here, we have seen another third factor. There's the organized religious organization, and it's a church. I mean, different fractions in hand of the church. And that is more to do with violence and not religion by itself. For example, we are talking about Hamas. Hamas is not religious in the strict sense, but support by some member of the church, of some time of Sunni, or Shiite, or some kind of that. But anyway, I think that's not to be identified with religion itself. That's first I come to my mind. Because when I return back to the history of Christianity, then we have the same. It's the beginning of the 1st century to the 3rd century, the 4th century, no violence among Christians. But only when the Christian become a strong church with a big power and absolute power, then it becomes violent. And it uses violence to force, to suppress, and even to try to convert all the people to be Christian. That's too much. So I think the point here is a church. It's organized. I mean, different organization of the continent of religion, but not religion. That is the first come to my mind. The second, I just give a very quick glance on the agenda. And I didn't find any definition of violence. The definition of violence, what is meant violence for the religious people, for the politicians. Or for economic today, we have also economic violence. For example, Trump is using it to intimidate all the country, or China is using it to intimidate Taiwan, for example. That's the economic violence. For example, with this recession. So it seems to me that we have not yet one definition of violence. And what is the difference between violence in economic sector and politics and religion? And even in education. So that is the second come to my mind. But anyway, I am very impressed with what we have discussed here. I think that I can learn a lot from them. Because we have not much time, and I have been informed that we have here 6 prominent speakers, and each has at least 5 minutes to 10 minutes to express themselves. So I have to sacrifice my own privilege today and give it back. Maybe I begin with Professor Abutra. Okay, you are anyway, as a guest according to Chinese custom. Okay. You are have the priority.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, I have to say I'm very happy to be here, and it's a really great honor for me. After listening to what you have said, then if I look at our papers here, we see here, from my perspective, most of them are historical approach, looking to the past and try to construct and try to explain the present situation by looking to the past. Well, that is also one of the perspectives which is quite important in looking at of this phenomenon. But again, I agree with you that not many studies are focused on the organization. There's already, actually, I already mentioned in my paper that there are several approaches in studying religion and violence. But you see that not all of the approaches has been applied here or has been implemented by our colleagues here. And then the second is that we see here a lot of case studies, I think, in my view, because you focus on a certain area, certain events, or certain countries. And this, in my view, is quite interesting. I have to say, I learned a lot. Yeah? I don't know much about Baha'i, I don't know much about Algeria, I don't know much about, well, there are many things in this paper. That's why I was very impressed by what have been presented by the speakers. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I do not speak Chinese. That's the problem. So then I cannot understand all the papers that have been presented here. But from what I learned from the abstract and then from the discussion, we know that a lot of information, a lot of ideas have been presented. And that's, in my view, quite interesting. And again, some of them are based on field research, and the other based on archive, and then the other based on literature. And that's interesting, because then you can see differences, pattern. Oh, that's the way, what kind of information you can get from field research, from daily life of people. And then you can get different information if you look at the text or the archives. And then you give you can get different impression again from literature, like the one on Algeria, I think. Yeah, that's also interesting. So in that case, we have some perspective based on the materials that our colleagues have been done here. And then the third is about multiculturalism is not much discussed compared to religion and violence. I don't know, maybe there's something new, but maybe later Professor Nabil can explain about that. And one more, if you look at the perspective, it's quite interesting. If you look at how some of us look at the religion violence from the perspective of researcher or from outsiders. And then the other try to see from the inner perspective of, in anthropology we call it ethic and emic perspective. Ethic is researcher's perspective, and then emic you try to understand from people's point of view. And that's quite interesting, like resistance or violence according to Hamas or according to Muslims, how people actually explain that. Or can it be said that is it violence, or actually it's not violence, it's something else. That's quite interesting, because then we see differences of opinions, difference of conclusions from this perspective. The last one, because the other hand will have something to say, is that we give many insight not only about religion, but also about countries, about peoples, and how actually violence, religion also related to the cultures of the people. And how, for instance, in Algeria, in Iran, in Southeast Asia, you have differences of views about religion and how actually the reaction of people when they are oppressed by certain groups of other people. And then you see here that we can learn many insights and also wisdoms, I think, because in that case, people also contemplate on these topics. Yeah. That's why I was so impressed by all of the presentations here, and I would like to say that this is a great honor for me, and thanks for the Dean and for the Professor Nabilin who has invited me. And again, very nice campus, very convenient place to stay. Yeah. It's close to here. And so again, thank you very much, and hope that I can go here again and see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Putra. May I ask the Dean Chen? Okay, the lady first. Yes.
Thank you. Everybody, good afternoon. Good evening. Good afternoon. Yeah, my English is not good, so I have to see my notes. Let me briefly talk about my superficial view. Within the time of this conference, we focused on the conflict and violence of religion with a multi-dimensional view. The barrier and the conflict should be aroused by the difference in race, gender, and the social levels, etc. From my personal investigation on the Buddhist history from 15th to 17th century, there was significant difference in the discipline of monks and nuns in Chinese Buddhist society. In the case of Taiwan, there is dramatic increase in the number of nuns as compared with monks. And the nuns have even become the leaders in Buddhist society, in spite of which a gender difference in the display did not alter much. The display of the monk has 250 articles. The display of the nun has 384 articles. This is partly due to the conventional higher barrier imposed on females, and the nuns are therefore separated by a stricter display. This tends to result in an unfair and even violent treatment to an inferior gender. Similar phenomena can also be found in both religions. About this issue, I hope it can be one of the topics for future discussions. 我想用一下中文，就是说，其实在我研究的15到17世纪明清的中国佛教史里边，其实这种所谓中国汉传的佛教里边，男性的僧侣跟女性的比丘尼，他们在受戒的这个戒数上其实是差很多的。那男生的话是250戒，女生的话是384戒。那这个戒律的一种不同，其实显现出来是男尊女卑的一种大男性主义底下所关照出来一种戒律的这种社会。那这种戒律的社会，我们以今天台湾的社会来看，台湾的佛教来看，其实台湾的佛教的男女看起来好像非常的，女性已经非常的突出，然后也做了很多领导的这样的一个位置。那女性出家的也比男性的还要多。可是问题是，传统的这一种所谓男尊女卑的这一种所谓男性主导的这样的一种传统的戒律，它并没有改变。那并没有改变，其实在这个整个过程里面，还是传统的思维对女性认为女性要成佛，她必须要接受更多的挑战跟更多的磨练。那女性为什么需要这样？因为女性的罪是比男性要多很多。那由于这样的一种思想，在任何的一个教团里边，它可能会产生一种对女性那种暴力的控制跟暴力的处置。那这个部分，其实在台湾的社会跟台湾的一个佛教的这种所谓研究里边，其实还是很少被提出来。那因为我们这次有关于佛教这个部分谈的还是比较少。 然后未来我们可以在这方面有更多的一些所谓的讨论。谢谢大家，谢谢。
Thank you very much. And Dr. Chen.
我还是用中文讲，要不然就用日文。我没办法用英文讲，因为那个我非常那个音律不漂亮，我就不要讲啊。我还学不会啊。やっぱり日本語で喋るか中国語で喋りますか、どっちが試してみます。我要谈一谈我这2天的感觉哈。我非常感谢大家用英文讲，让我练习听了2天的英文。この2日間一生懸命英語を聞いてきて、練習してきた。もうこれからもっと勉強します。因为就是这么长的时间，我都是做台湾史，也做台湾的宗教的，包括长老教，还有民间信仰。我的最终的结论就是，我不信这个是有一个故事的，不信那个神的存在啊。这个。だから昔から民間信仰と長老教会の歴史をやってきて、ただ結論的に私は神がいることは信じません。今もそうです。我在快要30年前，我从日本回来，第一次参加台湾宗教学会的会议的时候，我发表论文。我父亲的中学的同学郑儿玉牧师。他批评我的文章，举了将近30个的缺点。我从开始一直听到最后，我就不听了，因为我际上根本是信不信的问题。然后最后他用闽南语讲一句：“完全都不咧信，宗教就是信跟无信的呢。”这个我没有办法。私が日本から帰ってきた時に最初の頃。台湾宗教学会で論文を発表した頃、うちの父親の同級生、中学校の同級生で定時力牧師から批判を受けて、23個以上の欠点があったんですよ、私の論文。私は絶対信じません。一生懸命やったのに、10個ぐらいあると思いますが、20個以上はないと思う。ただし最終的におじさんが私に向いて言ったんですよ。私の名前を呼んで君は絶対神がいることは信じないから、信仰ということ、信仰の勉強についてというのは信じるか信じないの問題です。それは私今も信じない。それで、あれからもう30年近くなって、私の父も亡くなったし、帝牧師も亡くなったし、2人の組織は私参加しました。ただ昨日の通知の話に出て、またリメのが私は信じないと止められて、私が病に行っても信者に言われて、あなた信じないから見えないと言うんです。我常常就是说，刚刚的郑儿玉牧师的故事，就是说我爸爸的同学说我都不信，那你怎么做宗教的研究？我就是不信。然后呢，那从那以前回到现在，我从日本回来到现在，我已经退休了。这么长的时间，我在发表论文的时候，长老教会的信徒都对我有很多的意见。他说我不了解基督教。然后呢，我去庙里，那个信徒就跟我说：“啊，你也拢唔知，他拢我袂讲。”是按那问题了，是这样。一个宗教的研究者，如果你信了，你以后要怎么办？我常常在想这个问题。我当然就不信，然后所有的意象我也没有感觉过，一次都没有。因为我母亲说我的那个生命那个我牛啊，那个就是命很重还是什么，所有的意象是看不到的。因为我们是非常重的，很重的，在那个马来西亚有没有就是命底轻较重，较重，所以看袂见，那个命格 日本語で私は説明できないけど、ただし生まれる時間と日々とか計算するとものすごく重い民家になってるから、普通の現象が一個も見えない。でも30年間やってきてどうでしょうか。私の成果はあるかどうかそれは分からない。我将近30年都在做这个研究啦，到底是有没有我不知道。但是今天的都是宗教那些的问题，对我来讲，我觉得我承受很多的接受很多的知识，而且我感觉台湾的媒体真的是太封闭，我们都没有提供应该给我们的应该有的资讯，所以我有时候会看 ANA 或 NHK 的报道，我从那边吸收知识，不然我还是知識還是不夠。それで今日ここ30年間痛感したのが、台湾のメディアは例えばイスラム外国のものについてあまり知識くれないんですよ。ヨーロッパに対する知識はいっぱいあった。ただしインド、エジプトとかあれは全くないです。我今年跟黄柏琪老师先去印度，然后跟林长南老师去埃及，我都承受非常大的冲击。但是我去欧洲好几次都不会觉得怎么样，因为那些知识我们比较多。在南方我们都很少，这个我要深刻的反省，所以我下个礼拜要去越南，稍微再做一点点的努力。那今后还是不幸的，我会继续在做我的台湾的宗教研究。而我因为做社区总理营造的关系，町おこしの仕事10年17年ぐらいやりましたので、台湾市のことについて普通の人よりは詳しい。皆さんに台湾に遊びにいらっしゃったら行ってください。ご案内します。我因为做社造的关系，所以我对台湾是比普通人应该还要认识所以你们如果来玩的时候，就告诉我，我会带你们去玩。这个绝对没有问题。那30年来有没有成果我不知道，但是我继续在努力。谢谢。
非常谢谢陈美静教授。We have seen three, but the two prominent 黄柏琪跟这个李正光两位是主办单位，所以我们请丁教授开始。
Because I don't have a prepared paper, so actually I prepare a short presentation. I prepare in Chinese, but I try to bilingual. And but I very thank you for organizer invite me to here. And I see my the teacher in the undergraduate student. He teach me the philosophy of social science. It inspired me very much to continue to my academic work. So I show a presentation to show, because the violence is such a direct avoidable feeling. So I want to show some image of violence in the folk religion. People say Taiwanese folk religion is polytheism. So it's not an organized religion, not like a church. So it should be more peaceful. But actually, I feel so much violence in the folk religion. So I show some footage for the violence during I doing the field work. I see some violence footage. Actually, according to Pogge, the violence is kind of use or intended to use force to hurt or damage or one's body or wealth, and also damage to someone close to you. Okay, and Pogge's mention about violence, especially the political power, is must based upon violence. It's kind of ultimacy of kind of a political power, a political power, because they have to at least the result is your violence. So this cannot separate from political power and the violence. But we know that in the traditional Chinese society is kind of a cellular economy, or called a civilization of rural society. So in this situation, if the law cannot reach, or the law is not function well, this time they have used the violence to protect themselves. And the village and between the village and village, they always use a kind of violence. And the deities, local deity, a lot of deity associated with violence. And I wanted to say this kind of structural violence, because the structural condition put forward different kind of violence. So now I will show some different kind of structural condition to get some. It's a Chinese. Okay. So this is a tribalism. This is a tribalism on the urbanization. This is kind of a new tribalism, because a lot of gangster or faction, during the city, they want to make their own force, and they associate less violence. And this kind of we will call this the tribalism, or kind of domestication of violence. So violence has two dimensions. One dimension is violence to other. One dimension is self-harm. Self-harm violence, in the folk religion, Han folk religion, they use the self-harm to show the violence. Or if self-harm but not harm their health, so it means the God is so efficacy. But in different situations, the efficacy has different way to when in the urbanization there are so many tribalism under this city environment, it's kind of self-harm, not only for efficacy, but also competition for the different tribe on different communities. And those violence associated with the gangster or 角头, we familiar with a lot of 八家将 associated with gangster. They now use very exaggerated the violence to self-harm. To claim themselves, to propaganda themselves, and also on those urbanization situation, like the Tzu Chi, they have a sign language. They try to domestication violence, but it still have kind of internal tension. And if the self-harm violence will become kind of cultural heritage and lose this original function. So I will show some footage for each of these. This I will call the tribalism. This kind the parade formation fight each other. The Songjiang martial art group, but when the two martial art groups from different tribes, it's easy to conflict, and because they all have a weapon, so they highly threaten each other. Actually, from Xiamen. Okay. Because they should separate, but they just for purpose they conflict with each other. So this kind of violence actually quite happened, quite easy to happen about 30 years ago. But now in Taiwan, it has been pacified. So this kind of situation still can see in mainland China, not in Taiwan. Okay. Second footage I will show. This myself, I was doing a videotape about defeat by violent retreat by the other, because I recording something I shouldn't record, so people hit me, and it's a dangerous situation doing field work. two group confrontation, and I recording them, and then the end, near the end, and then I keep on my videotape, and they saw me and hit me. Bin Dong Caozhou. I call this a tribal event armed urbanization. It's a violent toward other, not like the first occasion, the collective violence. Now it's a collective toward other, outsider. Now come to me, hit me, they see me. I'm hit. I will say the violence toward outsider. Okay, and now this kind of I will call new tribal event. Gangster will hit somebody not respect their God, and will feel very angry. He blocked the middle path of the deity worship, so he will feel very angry toward this guy. I would say folk religion is quite violent. And this one is Tzu Chi. Now is trying to tempting the violent and domesticate the violent and try to make those male to reduce their masculinity and try to put them in the crime. But it's still the only tension. Okay, next footage I will show when the gangster combine together with the parade formation, and the shaman will become try exaggerate for their performance. It's not hard to see during the village climate, village situation. But when the gangster associated with the parade formation, and they will exaggerate the self-harm. 就是新竹。Although the image of self-harm for the Taiwan Dangji is quite popular, but now this get so extremely exaggerated. Okay, I just want to bring back the feeling of violence when you face the violence directly, especially the folk religion situation. I want to remind you to still involve in violence in the folk religion environment.
Thank you very much. Yes, Professor Huang Ruqing.
I think I don't have that much to say because I'm one of the organizers who prepare for this international conference, and I think this conference is important for we Taiwanese to know the outside world, because we presuppose that when you ask people in the street, they say every religion teaches peace, but why do we have so many violence around the world? We actually don't care about, or even don't pay attention to the violence outside our country. And I think when we travel, we go to Japan, we go to Korea, and we want to enjoy food, go to India. But actually, this is very sort of materialistic. And we don't want to know about their culture, like religion or society and so forth. I think this conference is important in terms of understanding different culture in outside Taiwan, in South Asia, in Southeast Asia, in Europe. Also, so I think this kind of learning is very important for the scholars in Taiwan as well, because generally scholars are doing like sort of Chinese society, Chinese religion, but most of them are not interested in, like, especially Islam, because actually we don't have a say about Islam. What happened in the Islamic world seems to far away from us, and I think this is the problem. You see, because yeah, it's okay, I'm sorry. Because actually we are connected with them, and that's very important. For us to understand what they are doing in their life in terms of like religious practice. And this conference is important that we bring so many scholars, not only from Taiwan, but from abroad, and actually as Professor Harris, I suppose to say that, they are interested in different aspects of religious studies, not only history, anthropology, but also earlier studies. So I think this is a very real chance to bring people from Taiwan, from outside, to have the chance of changing of the ideas that surely would really enrich our understanding of religion or world religion or folk religion in a deeper way. And I think the Lamidin actually and Dean really supportive for this conference. I find this is a kind of positive sign, you know, for Taiwanese, because this kind of conference seems not, you know, held before. You know, this is probably the first. I'm not sure. In terms of the conference in a more global context, I think this is really rare in Taiwan. So I would say this conference is very significant for we Taiwanese scholars to know what happened outside Taiwan, how they live, and you know, how do they practice their religion and so forth in terms of the area and you know, and so forth. I think this is actually very good and also very important. Yes. Yes.
Well, when it comes to the end, my mind is drained. After 2 years activities. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the participants' contribution to this conference. Without you, this conference cannot be achieved. And although there are some drawbacks in the conference, that we have to think about it and improve in the near future. Because kind of an opportunity to launch this kind of conference. The main purpose of this conference is to raise attention of Taiwanese people to the violence phenomenon in every society, especially in Taiwan, is quite frequent. And for me, as an Islamicist, Islamic studies scholars, in the past 30 years, I have been doing, examining the society of Islamic Muslim people all over the world. And the last 10 years, I've been doing research on Indonesia, especially, and found Indonesian Muslims are very lovely and very tolerant, but apart from those small minority groups, the radical groups, and I found Indonesia is a nice place and nice country for people in the Middle East to look at their experience of coexistence of peace. And then we think in the future we ought to promote dialogue, inter and intra. So first we have the intra-dialogue between the same belief or same culture, and then we have to give out, put our faith or our value aside, and then appreciate the other's culture and their faith. Then we can talk about peace of human beings. Now I shift to Chinese. 在过去呢，整个我在做遗产研究呢，除了做一些基本的研究，我一直在做那个对话的工作。我也编了2、3本有关于那个宗教对话的那个论文集。在过去跟土耳其的一个那个 Hizmet 的那个团体合作，因为他们的目标就是说宗教对话，然后呢促进世界和平。可是很不幸的，这个团体在土耳其已经被打压、被禁止，然后被那个迫害。他们的大学13所大学，他们的报纸、媒体、电视，还有一些中学全部被关掉，然后呢，很多他们的学者都被抓到监牢里面监禁，被判刑。OK， 甚至呢，他们在海外的这个国外的 member are not allowed to return to Turkey, so it's not fair really. So everybody knows the problem of the Erdogan, the current president. I don't want to go into details about that. But in short,
dialogue is very important. Before doing the dialogue, we have to educate ourselves, okay, to find out the common value of human beings, and then we can do everything. So 简单的说呢，对话，怎么对话？你不要去宣扬你自己的价值，你要把你价值先放在一边，去欣赏别人的价值，我们才可以对话，或者一些空谈。我们看到很多对话现象比比皆是，都是很自私的一种对话，不是说很公正的一种对话 ，OK， 一种那个无私的那种对话 ，right？ 所以呢，我希望我再次感谢啊，特别是留到最后1分钟的那个在座的那个贵宾。But I have to appreciate and thank all the participants, especially for those who stay until the last minute. And I wish you all the best. Now we'll go back to the chair.
Thank you, but I don't know how much time left for us. Okay, therefore the floor is open for everyone. I would like to have your ideas, please. Yes.
Okay. First of all, most important thing, I'm very happy to be part of this dialogue to that extent. And kudos to your center and supported by other departments. Chinese saying that, well, I can speak Chinese, but it's always the first step. The first step for a long journey. So to me, it's very important that you have already initiated something, okay? So first of all, it's very important that from this output is for publication and to set up a series of seminars in the long run to continue with this theme and continue with more dialogue. And the most important thing, they always criticize for us scholars, we speak until the cows come home. They don't care. But if we speak louder and louder as scholars, politicians also, of course, politicians, they have all their own agenda. Okay? But at least we did our part. If they hear us, it's kudos to us. We are very happy to share. If they don't, chances are usually they don't, because they have a mind of their own. It's very sad. But as scholars, I think it is our social responsibility to speak our mind. And there's a Malay saying, if you don't know, you won't love the other person. You've got to get to know them. So Professor Nabiuddin, it's very important that you start the dialogue. It's very important, as you mentioned earlier, to start the dialogue. And once we start talking, we can easily find out that at the end of the day, we are all human beings and all of us share the same. Everybody wants to live in peace together, and the next generation will have a happy life. That's all. I think it's the same thing. It's just that, Mr. Chairman, earlier you mentioned is power. And Lord Acton once said, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That's the reason why whoever holds the strong power, they would like to impose whatever values, whatever ideology on others. And that creates problems. So to me, it's understanding. And for me, as a historian, of course, I'm overwhelmed by anthropologists. It's okay. For us, as a historian, the most important thing is to know the past, for us to understand the present, and hopefully we can plan for a brighter future. We can only hope. Thank you.
Anyone else? Very welcome for everyone. because Professor Lin Chang-Wang has started to say about dialogue. And it's continued by our friend here, dialogue and dialogue. But we need more people to come to dialogue. We cannot model dialogue with only one single person. That's a monologue. Okay, we don't want to be monologue. So yes, please, yes, come in.
Thank you again, Professor Ling, Professor Huang, and all the organizers for this amazing conference. I'm so pleased to have had a chance to have a dialogue with you here. In relationship to dialogue, I, of course, second and third and fourth and strongly support what you suggest. But I think it would be helpful for us as academics, for us as scholars, to be able to reach a broader audience. And we do so in terms of our teaching with our students. But with the members of the distinguished panel here, I was wondering if you had any thoughts about reaching a broader audience, and what kind of audience would we need to be able to reach in order to promote this kind of dialogue? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, other suggestion or idea? It seems that you suggest that we should stop. Okay. Any happier? Oh yeah, yes.